Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits Bourbon, episode 60. Whiskey heavy episode, as we normally do in our midweek, and I was on the struggle bus, and I was informed that if I fuck this up one more time, they're going to really be pissed off. So
this is take 3.
Whatever. Anyways, so tonight we're hitting on a whiskey that is pretty easy to find for most people. You can find it online and in most stores, pretty readily available. It's
Dude,
old.
you start a line of fucking Coke or what?
I was doing mine.
Like,
Look, you said get after him, getting after it. Now I'm all pumped up. I'm two-fisting.
all right.
So Old Elk blended straight whiskey. This is a 4-year-old bourbon that was it's made out in Colorado by the former master distiller of MGP, Greg Metz. And you guys got you hadn't tried that. I'm surprised. This is one that you hadn't had before over here, since I have so many of them. I thought, just kind of took it for granted that you guys had Old Elk before.
I've had it.
You just don't remember.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I've gotten so bad into chasing sort of like our Penelope Rhea, or chasing some of these bottles, some of the wild turkeys.
Chase those taters.
I mean, yeah, but you get so much into it though, and when you get brought back down to the ground level here, and you pull out the Old Elk, I was like, holy God, this dude, this was something that I haven't had. If I've had it, I haven't had in so long. Don't remember though. I'm like,
It's probably been a good couple months.
Yeah. Well, it's one we've never.
It's a great pour, though. I mean,
we've never
seriously,
reviewed it. We've never really thought about it.
I think we reviewed it on like episode like 5 or 6, maybe.
I think we did the port.
Yes, we did.
Or we did the weeder, and it was a little bit higher price. So this one, it used to be $50.
Okay.
It's probably more in that $70 range now. So the backstory on Old Elk is that they were sourcing for a while until they got their distillery out in Colorado full and running. I think they can store something stupid like 35,000 barrels. So they're a big distillery, and they have the bottle itself is aesthetically pleasing. It's got this cool little wood. I don't even know if this is wood.
It's fake
probably
wood.
plastic.
It looks like Flintstone wood.
But I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's a cool topper. It's a nice looking bottle. What I do like about the bottle, and this is pure fucking just nerd talk, is that I can take this bottle, I can put it on this shelf, and I don't hit this. And I really enjoy the companies that are making short bottles, dude, because I'm tired of having to fight for space. Anyway, all right. With that said, what did you guys think? Take a sip. Let me know. Nose, palate, and finish. 88 proof is the spec on this. So it's not
right on the nose. I get cooking spices or baking spices, whatever you want to call it. It's not the like hot peppery, smell or anything like that.
I think I get like a vanilla caramel, and where I get really excited is that after I've spent a lot more money on a lot of bottles.
That's not a tasting note. That is not a nose note.
But dude, I get excited when we try something like this.
It smells like dollar bills, y'all.
He's like,
Well, I said
he's a pure. He's like, oh, it smells affordable. That's stupid.
I said I get like a caramel, like a vanilla note.
That's a no.
I said that though, but I said
No, you immediately launched into
vanilla, but I get excited. Where I get excited is that I'm like, God, this has been sitting on the shelf the whole entire time, and I've spent a lot more money on other bottles. I'm like,
I see what he's saying. Like for the nose.
Okay.
You spend high dollar amount of money on a nose that's similar to
Well,
this.
we've had a run of fairly expensive bottles that we've had that have not lived up to their price tag.
Yeah.
So it is nice when you drop down and your initial thought on the nose is, all right, cool. This is their, I don't know how you put it. This is their baseline entry, right? So if you're impressed with this, then logic kind of tells you that the ports, the weeded, the single barrels, whatever they have are going to be better. Normally,
it's extremely smooth, very smooth on the finish. Does not have, for me, minimal hug on it though. It's just good on the palate. The finish doesn't linger a long time though, but I get, like I said, some caramel, maybe some vanilla though. But it's just a very smooth sipper,
It's a smooth pour. I like it because I like that the cooking spice, the pepperiness on the palate that I get from chicken cock. And that's what I get on this one. I get that peppery. I get the cooking spices. I do get the vanilla. Not so much the caramel.
Carmelo? Is he playing in your cup?
Maybe.
We're a hot mess tonight. So I get cocoa. I get cinnamon. I get a little caramel on the nose. On the palate, the cinnamon and almost a honeyish butter. It kind of builds up. There's brown sugar in here, and that's the dominant taste, and that's the one for me that kind of like it builds up to the hug. The hug's a medium hug. I don't think it's an easy for us because we really enjoy the higher proof. I think. I wish we could reset.
Do you really think it's a medium hug? Though?
I think it's a medium hug.
On the lower end of a hug.
No, I would
not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean you need a medium to higher hug to be better.
Put between the lower and the medium.
So here's what I want you to do: take a sip, okay? Once you swallow, before you do anything else, before you kind of do that with your mouth, just take a deep breath in through your mouth. Take a deep breath right now.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
That's how I gauge a hug.
I still put it in between that light, the medium. I put it right in that middle, that sweet spot.
You still think it's a light?
Not when I do that. No, it's much hotter doing that though. But
that's normally what I do.
I normally drink it though. No, I mean
he just gulps it. He gulps it like a fucking.
But I mean that in a good way. I don't. When I say something has a medium hug, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing for me or bad thing though.
Right. It depends on the overall taste and how it's composed together.
I really care about the palate. And I do care about the hug though too. As long as it doesn't punch me in the chest like a donkey. But it's a very
I'll punch you in the chest like a donkey.
Yeah.
You don't want a drink that really just punches you in the chest. So
but we have become accustomed to these higher proofs, so we're used to more of the hug. So I think the finish meter may be a little skewed. So that's why I say when you do that, when you take a sip and you swallow it and immediately breathe in, you can kind of gauge that amount of ethanol that you've swallowed and how it reacts and how it burns. And for me, it just hits right about medium.
Well, he wants to be a fire blower. He's like, I want to feel that ethanol. It's like,
but I mean, he is right though. I do agree though that when depending on your palate, if you were brand new into this, the hug could be harsh. I don't know because it's been too long. If you would have given
it's 88 proof too. That's it's a lower proof.
Yeah, but if I gave this to my wife, I had the wife try our recent pick, and when she smelled it, she sat here and tried to creep it up to her lips so slowly, and her head shook like a damn dog with a toy, and she's like, "Oh God!" I'm like,
"How'd it go?"
But she's not a whiskey drinker, like a dog with a toy, and she's like, "Oh my God!"
That's really the comparison you want to use on something that she could then watch. It's a dog with
a toy,
bro.
Dog
that's
with
dangerous.
A bone.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
We'll cut that part out.
Yeah, we will.
She hasn't watched this.
Overall,
just watching somebody else do it though. I mean, somebody else you take intern Matt though. Somebody who's much younger into this though. Yeah, it could be a much harsher finish though. But
sure, no, Matt's kind of dove head first.
That's why I said somebody else too, because Matt's one of the more. I think Matt's a little bit of an oddity.
So what's the bottom line on this one? You're surprised that it's as good as it is for where it is on the kind of scale of whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, because we tried it. We tried it before the podcast, though. So I intentionally tried it before the podcast because I didn't want to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm not sure." And I tried it, and immediately I was like, "Dude, this is a really great pour." Great pour. I mean, seriously, for a shelfer, great.
For a shelfer, yeah. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't have this on your shelf.
Yeah, it's price point? Right. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything for me that's like.
I'm curious now what the current price of it is, because I know that over the last couple of years, it's creeped up. It was, I think, when I bought the first couple bottles of Old Elk, it was like $50.
Let me ask, what isn't creeping up right now? It seems.
Anything
that's been around for a while. If you're a newer distillate into the whiskey community, I think you have to come in at a lower price point. But anything that's been around for a while, like Old Elk, a lot of the Buffalo Trace lineup, they're all. It seems like they're all starting to creep up. Like inflation's getting them.
They have really taken a lot of metals home. Now metals are subjective. We know that it seems like they hand out medals for everything, right? For when it comes to whiskey. But they've become, they've carved out a nice little niche in the market for whiskey. I know that some of their bottles are well over $90 because I've seen them at like $110. Now, I don't know if that's a secondary effect because most of the time that happens out of state. So you never know. I'm trying to find one.
I would be very interested to try like Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend is a very popular one. It's from what I know, everything I've
What's
seen.
What's that got to do with Old Elk?
Well, I'm getting there. It's a higher price point though, but Old Elk has a cigar blend that's very popular as well. So I'm very curious for someone like Old Elk Cigar Blend.
I'm wrong.
I'm
wrong. So it's still at about 55. You get into the finished ones and you in the special bottles, of course, you're going to roll up over 80 to 106. But I mean, like even their Old Elk 5-year cognac cask, which is one that I really want to get my hands on again, $60. So you're talking a very affordable bottle.
No.
There was one that I got that was a special edition. I think that was like $120, but it was because it was a special edition.
I feel like
so it's still an easy. That's an easy price. That doesn't hurt me.
For me, I feel like we've had a common theme when we started going to these shelfers lately. I mean, kind of it's a great introductory bottle. I really feel it's a great introductory.
This one,
bottle.
I don't even think it's an introductory bottle. I think it's one that you can enjoy no matter what.
Well,
I don't disagree, but I was saying I don't disagree with that at all. That I mean. You're right. I think you could still. We still enjoyed it a lot though. But if I had to introduce somebody into whiskey though too, I still think this is something I would absolutely say. Yeah, absolutely. Pour her in the Old Elk right there. It's not potent though. It's not.
Yeah, it's not going to put them on their ass with that ethanol nose.
No, it's easy to drink. It's easy to enjoy. I think the biggest thing is that where it sits as you know for its price point, that is very agreeable. But you can draw out flavor from it. You don't have to have a sophisticated palate yet to really kind of like grab the flavor out. We all kind of got different flavor notes from it. I bet money if I would Google, I don't know, like if I hit Old Elk review, it'd probably have different notes from what we pulled. But the theme is it's a little bit sweeter, so it's a little bit more enjoyable. It's a little bit more agreeable. And it's got a bold flavor, one that sits in your mouth and doesn't, it's not a complex one. I think that
I agree with that.
We're kind of progressing into where some things we like to be ultra complex. Now, like we talked about the Manzanera cask the other day.
Absolutely.
That's a really complex flavor profile to break down. It's left. I mean, remember we were talking with Jared, my brother, last night,
and your father the day before.
And my father, and they were bewildered by the Manzanera cask that they got. They didn't know really what to make of it. They kind of expected a certain flavor note, but they couldn't really define it because Manzanera is a really hard kind of finished whiskey to figure out. This is a very easy whiskey to figure out.
That's how I kind of the Manzanera.
Not figure out, but
did you? Yeah, I kind of felt like the Manzanera was something that we just. I don't know how complex it was, but I don't think any of us had tasted it before though. So I was like, I could tell it's like
it's a hard.
I want to go back and revisit.
It wasn't oaky to me, but I'm like, it tastes woody, but I don't know what the hell the wood.
I know. You know what wood tastes like when you trip it.
Just say it wasn't me.
I was talking with a group of guys the other day, and they were talking about like American oak, different oak finishes. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Yeah. Every time I have these conversations, I realize how much I don't know, and they're talking about different wood finishes, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! There's so many different wood finishes.
Well, the thing is, too, we know what we like, we know what we don't like. We may not be I taste the plum and this and that, but we know what we like, we know what we don't like.
The plums.
Yeah, I think the one thing I've always, I think I probably have the poorest palate of us all in tasting notes, but the one thing I've noticed that we all generally agree on are every time we've tasted something, if we had to blind something, we're generally all rating them very close together.
Yeah.
No.
Well, with the exception of a couple.
Okay, but as a norm.
The last blind we did on...
That was different.
Because what was it? Was it not
what
on...
What was it? With the Blatons?
No.
Dad's Hat.
Dad's Hat.
Dad's Hat.
No, it wasn't Dad's Hat.
No, it wasn't Dad's Hat. It was...
Dude, I'm not a...
Benchmark. It was Benchmark.
Oh, yeah.
You put Benchmark over Blanton's and Eagles Rare.
Yes, I did, because I thought it was Benchmark, and I...
Had a head cold.
So one night we did Blanton's, and I put what I put second all of a sudden when we blinded the next time, 3 months later, I said, this is a far here. And I'm like, this must be the benchmark. Because I never tried benchmark. Because I've had Blanton's, obviously.
Because you marked benchmark number 1.
And I put clear over here, and you're like, that's a Blanton's. I'm like, Jesus Christ. 3 months ago, I said this was good. Now, I'm like, I was not digging that night, though. Just a Blanton's
But it all depends on your palate.
Sometimes the night affects it, though, too.
What you ate that day, what you smoked that day, it's going to affect the palate all the way around.
All in all, I mean, great bottle for the price. I'm going to have to find another one. Because we just decided to kill off half this bottle.
Half a bottle tonight.
Somebody recently asked me, one of our great follower, Kim, she asked, trying to get a bottle for, I think a family member, don't quote me though, and she said weeded, big into weeded though. I asked a couple people who were big into whiskey though too, what do you recommend? They said like OWA, Old Weller Antique, but one thing that came up was, which I thought of though, was Old Elk weeded.
Yeah. Oh, look, weed is a good. That is originally what I thought about grabbing to talk about, but the weeded is a touch harder to find. It's not as regular on the shelf as the blended straight. The blended straight is always available. So I'd almost liken it to the blended straights, like the Green Label Weller, and the weeded is like the red. But I mean, when people think of weeded, I mean, of all the Wellers that are out there, probably the one that I enjoy being able to enjoy because I can get it. Is the red. I mean, is it the best? Well, I don't know. I mean, 12 is pretty damn good. 4% is pretty good. But
going off price point.
Yeah, I mean, but that drives a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Price point to taste, yeah.
If I know something is, I mean, if I know something is going to be a friggin' $300 bottle, I'm going to drink it as much as something that I enjoy already that is $50 a bottle, and I get the same almost level of enjoyment, and then every now and then I treat myself with a really good port. I mean, that plays a part. So somebody that's getting into whiskey or somebody that's like, they're not really going to commit to building a collection, because building a collection is not for everybody, right? Some people they want to buy a good bottle of whiskey. They want to sit on the patio. They want to have a nice cigar. They want to start the fire pit up, and they just want to let the week go and enjoy it on Friday night. A bottle like this you can crush. Nobody's going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, great buy. Great cost. I always we talk about this like cost per pour shit, right?
Oh yeah, cost per pour.
Price per pour. Price per pour. This is a hard one to beat. I mean, there are maybe a few PPP price per pour. So maybe like Jack Daniels. Some of the Jack Daniels that I like the rye or the bonded or the triple mash, I really enjoy. But this is one that has always been a staple on my shelf, and it's just really good.
Well, that's one thing we talk.
Matter of fact,
anytime we talk about the whiskey bottles, you have a ton of whiskey bottles here. I have more than my fair share too, though. And anytime we're talking about it, though, too, sometimes people are like, "Oh my God, he has so many bottles." It only takes one bottle to have a good night, though.
That's all it takes.
You don't need 300.
So, if you find one that you really love,
2 bottles for your friends, and you have a great night.
There is absolutely no. I mean, like the collecting thing has gotten.
It's a dinner thing,
it's out of hand.
Like you said, it's for me, it's become a collecting thing too. I have absolutely bought. I just bought a Gatsby.
Remus Gatsby. Yeah,
Remus Gatsby. It was, I think, batch 1, so it comes with the box. I bought it. It was a tater thing. I just wanted the box that opens up, and I'm like, but I've actually never tried it before though. I'm interested to try it though. We'll have to crack it open though. But it only takes 1 or 2 good bottles like this for you and your friends to have a good time.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I still maintain that you can have just as much fun with a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 as you can with a bottle of George C. Stagg.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I mean, it's all about who you're sharing it with. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, at the end of the day, good food, good drink, good smoke, good times. I mean, so definitely recommend. I think we're in consensus. This is a bottle I say go get. Keep it on your shelf and drink it, crack it. It's a pretty bottle too.
Best part is Jay or Dan. It's Jay's bottle.
Yeah, we got to start buying him more bottles as much as we drink here.
Oh, we don't want to talk about buying him bottles and what we've done here.
Whoa! What the?
What happened?
He's heavy-handed.
It's Tuesday, for fuck's sake.
He's off that medication.
He's off that medication.
He's off that vagina quill.
Gender transition medication he was on. I'm going to turn my Audi to an Innie.
It's like, I can drink now.
So Dan, you were very adamant about us coming down here not really having a topic.
Yeah, I think it's
you
better
just
when
want
we
to set us up for failure.
No, I think it's better when we just bullshit. Like, because the conversation...
You're in quite the mood.
No, because the conversations we have out on the deck, every night I'm like, fuck, I wish we would have recorded that because that's some funny shit.
Yeah, but I sit out there naked.
Conversation,
so
or you know what I mean?
I can bring my topic up, though.
No, we're not going to talk about your transition. Nobody wants to hear about that during election
time. It's like twice time. This is the second time he's
I keep trying.
Yeah. No,
what is this topic?
No, so here's the thing.
He won't let it go.
He won't let me do it.
All right.
No, so have you, Elon Musk, iRobot, have you seen the Optimus? They're coming out. No bullshit. They just did a big release 4 days ago where he did this big platform with these personal robots. They're coming out $20,000 to $30,000 going to be the market price.
Fuck.
So,
God.
So here's the thing. When he did this, they had 50 robots at the event pouring cocktails, dancing, doing all kinds.
They came in a vehicle as well, correct?
Well, they came in the vehicle
like
as well.
dancing rope, like they were doing the robot,
No, this
or they were like
they were like flowy. But here's the thing: these robots are going to be like somewhere between 20 to 30,000. They're saying the entry price. They're going to release them. There's going to be about 1,000 robots in 2025. But 2026 is going to go out to the general public.
But
for 20,000, so they'll be able to cook, clean, fold your laundry. Here's my question, though.
Oh God, here it comes.
No, I ain't gonna say anything stupid. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. Nobody believes that.
But I watched multiple videos on the event that he had. I watched these robots. I read up on them. And I think, do you get one to do all your lawn work, to do all your housework? $20,000. I don't know what the lifeline is on these robots yet. But would you get one? Or in the back of your mind, would iRobot and Terminator be like sitting in your head?
Okay, so that's what I was just going to say. Like we like, you know how they say art imitates life, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like this is life imitating art.
100%.
I mean, we're just me. Like we're starting to fuck around with some shit we don't really know what's going to happen. AI, right? Now listen, if you get a robot that's going to go clean the shitter, word up. I mean, that especially, I got 2 boys, so it's like,
my thing,
couldn't work. But
you have somebody that comes over to clean the house, what, once a week?
No.
Once every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Once every 2 weeks. Imagine having
why
somebody...
Why you put my business out there?
Look, man,
like, seriously.
Who gives a fuck?
That makes me sound weird, though.
No, but seriously, imagine having somebody clean your house every single day.
Oh, man, fresh sheets every day. Would they do laundry?
Yeah.
On the cycle I like. I don't like that, but I like it cold water.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? You know how you hit it the wrong way, your shit shrinks. Anyways, I'm sorry.
But here's the thing: $20,000. That's a car. That's less than a car payment right now. It's probably like $400 a month for the next. Like,
so what's the next step?
No,
you know where I'm going.
I'm just waiting for you all to quit talking for me to get a spot in this moment.
Go ahead, jump in.
He's a fucking robot.
Like we do on the deck, man.
It's because he's a robot already.
I don't think people can compute necessarily $20,000 versus the long-term benefit of not having to do this, and this. What you see up front, the price point, $20,000. You don't compute it to what it's going to save me over 20 years. The initial cost of $20,000, I think it's going to be a household income thing, though. Yeah. Would I love to do it? Yeah. But is my income going to allow? If you said, well, every you're going to save $300 a year, $200 a year in gasoline for your these things, right? But we don't compute it. It's a small, minimal price point to.
How can be like a person instead of a fucking nerd? Dude?
How much would it cost? How much does it cost usually to take down a tree in your yard? About $3,000.
Well, I just spent for about $500 for a 60-foot tree just recently.
Because here's the thing: they said these robots will do unsafe things that you can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I got 3 trees I probably need to bring down in the next 5 years. Like
for $100 to do unsafe things, though.
If you drop your tree on, you're going to hire a crackhead to drop a tree.
Seriously,
might hire a robot.
No,
if the robot goes up the tree and is like, I calculate this tree will fall. I don't know, whatever they do. I mean, he may be like, bro, I'm gonna drop this tree. Who knows? He'll like a California accent. But then your savings are amplified, right?
I'm still getting sued regardless, though. Probably
not if the robot does it. I promise you, even a Commodore 64 robot is smarter than you. So you don't have to worry too much.
You just showed your age. You know what a Commodore 64 is? You were definitely born in the 70s.
Listen, I'm just saying.
But no bullshit though. What do you think about getting one?
If I could afford it, absolutely, yes.
$20,000. That's what, over 5 years, 6 years, $400 a month.
Well, it depends. If it's okay,
Yeah,
I'll take the Cybertruck.
$18 for every thousand for $10,000. So yeah, you're probably talking.
The problem is that like some of the stuff they come out with, they hype it up, and then you got like the Cybertruck, right? Everybody was jazzed for the Cybertruck. And now that bitch is. Well, I wasn't.
It's ugly as fuck.
It's ugly, but people were like, "Oh, it's going to be great," and the reviews on it from the users that actually have it doesn't do shit. It's really.
I've seen some reviews that have been pretty good. And I've seen some.
So you tow something.
I've seen some video while towing. Yeah, the tow. What you would call it on the back of the truck?
That's called tow.
Hitch.
The hitch isn't fucking hooked as shit. If you try to tow something, it'll fucking rip the back end off. But however, with the Cybertruck, I've watched a couple videos where they put it against like an F-150 or a 250, and it blew the fucking 250 and 150 out of the water.
Yeah, for 45 miles until it runs out of juice. That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about terrain.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
What about hauling the Cybertruck though? Where's the bed of the truck? Where you put
it's anything?
It has like a
hidden hatch.
tonneau. It has like a tonneau cover almost.
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
Tonneau cover.
Tonneau cover.
No,
thank
what
you.
he call it? Tonneau. Tonneau cover.
I don't have a fucking truck. I got a car down.
I don't know. I mean,
let me ask you: did you all see when they actually interacted with the
robot?
robots,
I did not.
AI?
I haven't seen any.
I did see some of the conversation though, and
I've seen them mixing drinks.
It was like the Will Smith movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was kind of.
See, and that scares me.
It was kind of creepy to
Because
us.
one of those dudes, all of a sudden, he's going to start glowing red. He's going to be like, "Nah, bitch," and he's going to start pop, pop, pop. And I don't need that in my life.
There's a video I seen online, and it was a guy. It was probably completely fabricated, but he had his fucking Optimus fucking Prime robot, because we can't call him iRobot because of the lawsuits with iRobot. But he had iRobot on to the point where Will Smith was, he had all the iRobots. He was like shooting them one at a time. And he's like, "You don't clean that toilet."
When Dan said, when he brought up iRobot, I was driving the other day, and I thought of this conversation, swear to God, and what I thought of what Dan's Transformer name would be. He already said he'd come across here like a spider monkey on Mountain Dew if I said it. So I can't say what his Transformer.
Was that the day when I called him and he was all freaking out because he thought I got pulled over for going 500 miles an hour down the interstate?
That was today.
That cop ain't pulled me over though.
That was today he threatened me.
What do you?
You know what I'm reaching for?
Oh,
It's been a while.
I
Still
thought
not
you were-
sponsored. Even though they canceled my order, still not sponsored by Chicken Cock.
Well, I am.
Great pork.
So you're back on to hyping them up even after they ignored you and sponsored some other
It's a good fucking
podcast.
pour. They did sponsor some other fuck that didn't like them though.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know
He
what I
made him
thought his
the
Transformer
bastard.
name would be?
Oh, that's.
Jane, can I say what I thought your Transformer name would be?
Am I gonna jump over this fucking table like a spider monkey hopped up on coke?
Hold him back. You know what I thought his Transformer name would be? Transgender.
Why? Why?
More than meets the eye.
Why? I hate both of you. I can't wait. Both of you are gonna die before me, and I'm gonna piss on both of your graves. First thing I'm gonna do is
I'm
piss
dead.
on both
I'm
of your
gonna be
graves.
dead.
Youngest here.
But next time you pass out on the deck, because it will happen again, I will piss on you. Be like,
Next-
"Oh, it's raining, bitch."
How did this
Same
get?
thing with you, motherfucker.
How did this hit me? I mean, I was just laughing. I didn't make the. Anyways, so okay, so the iRobot. So what's the other thing that you wanted to?
No,
to
it
hit
was strictly the iRobot. Like, I mean, legitimately, would you get one? Or would you have that fear of the fucking Terminator or iRobot scenario?
I could, dude, I can only go off my wallet right now. My wallet can't imagine.
It's got like 30 kids.
Right, it can't drop. It can't
20
imagine
grand.
dropping 20 grand. I could fathom dropping $400 or $500, $600, $700 a month for someone to come in and clean the house up because that's a bill I can
Dude,
terminate. It's
$400,
a bill.
$500
Can I
a-
finish?
Go, sorry. Bitch.
I could cancel that at any time. To commit to that, my wallet.
You
cannot
cancel a
fathom doing
robot
that.
too. You just don't charge it.
It's like a car. You just can't turn
Like
right
you're
back
canceled.
in.
That means like,
and now you have to turn
no.
back in and take a hit. Yeah.
So here's my thing.
I could shut the robot up though. Instantly like mute.
Here's my thing. You remember the iRobot movie? All the fucking different shit they had them doing? Like all the fucking mundane fucking task. Like, how much of your job that you do from home that a monkey could do? I mean, you're in the Army, so a lot of jobs the Army can do, a monkey can fucking do.
Basically, he can cease to exist. He can just breathe air and drink whiskey.
But imagine paying $20,000.
Now you're selling me.
Imagine $20,000.
$20,000 to sit at home and do nothing, and for
While this fucking robot does your fucking job for you, while you still fucking collect income.
while I can still go work at, I don't know, eating park or
Applebee's.
So
something like that.
if it can do all the things that they say it can do, if it can cook, if it can clean, if it can mow my lawn, if it can go pull weeds, if it can chop down a tree, if it can freaking...
There's a video
Can it yell at my dogs when they won't come?
There's a video of it with an egg, holding an egg and not fucking like manhandling and crushing an egg like you do when you go to the kitchen.
When have you ever seen me hold an egg?
Dude, look at those fucking hands. I don't even need to see you hold an egg. I know you'll be like,
You know, anytime a new vehicle comes out, everybody does not want to buy the new generation of vehicle.
they wait for the
Before
second gen.
Second gen, but this is not even a first gen vehicle. This is completely new to the market.
This is
like
the TV
Hyundai-
being
the Hyundai
introduced
coming- right.
when it first
Brand
came
new
out.
to the
Yeah.
market, and when that thing tries to come in there and dry hump you at nighttime, which I know you would love. I mean,
That's the one thing, because I thought about it. I was like,
Yeah, I know he thought about it.
I hate you. No, but legit. Like,
Mary, stop it.
this dude. Let's be honest.
He's like single at 45. He's like, I don't need it.
Let's be honest. It wouldn't be married.
Susie.
It would
Yes,
not be,
master.
It would not be married. It'd be Matthew.
It'd be-
but wait.
but that's what it'd be about.
It also reminds me of that Big Bang Theory episode with Wallowitz when he had the head and had to go to the ER room. Can you imagine how many people are going to end up in the ER room with their iRobot? It won't leave go.
It's stuck. Just like syntax error over and over again.
Robot, no, don't open up your hand. Stop.
But imagine if you're a teleworker and they got the AI down, right? Like if you're a data.
You don't have to work anymore. You get your iRobot to do it.
Exactly.
Be like, iRobot, deal with all these emails, these emails and stupid people that don't deserve my oxygen.
I would think we're a long ways away from dealing with human emotion, though, because human emotion is not 2 plus 2. When you talk about
We don't need human emotion. That's the problem with everything in the world. Human emotion is what's screwing everything up.
When you deal with data analytics, cool, 2 plus 2 is 4. But when you start dealing with people and the unknown, that 2 plus 2 does not equal 4 every time.
Do you know how much of human emotions I'd like to cut out of my job every day?
But
Think about it just for a second. All the stupid people in the world, the oxygen thieves that take. You could tell them, hey, here's a printout, tells you exactly what to do, and they're like, well, how do I do this? Like, if I had a robot, like, shut the fuck up, you dumb fuck, and just, like, let what my robot said. Fucking take it away, robot. Like, you're a fucking idiot. And he hits him.
Dude,
like, that's perfect.
Can you imagine people, though, like, once they come out, taking their fucking robot to work with them?
It's like take your robot to work day.
Like,
what do you, like, do you name it, or is it just name
Let me ask
robot?
you a question. How funny would it be, though? My wife, God, I love her to death. But she cannot follow.
You better be
Google
careful.
Maps, see her ways. Yeah.
You're treading on thin ice.
You ever watch somebody who has like ways up and they still can't follow it, and they're like, "Oh shit, there goes the exit right there." Though,
They're like, get the fuck out of the driver's seat, you goddamn bad driver.
Like, could you imagine if you could like put Siri to or ways to X-rated? Are you fucking stupid? You just missed the exit.
So what, you remember when Navs first came out and they were like TomToms?
yeah, the TomToms and Garmin's.
So we got a TomTom in Germany and buddy of mine over there, you knew him. Anyways, he downloaded a thing where you could plug the little chip into it and it could you know how it was like
You could change the voice.
You could change the voice
To Samuel L. Jackson.
to Samuel Jackson, and like I think I had like this like it was like angry black lady, and she was like, "You better turn your ass around." A dude
yeah,
was
that'd be
hysterical, dude.
hilarious.
Like every time that is my door open up there? Every
yeah.
time she missed an exit, like, oh, you don't miss the exit again,
Bitch.
It was great, man. Dude, Jennifer was so upset. I was like, I mean, I'm not saying it. TomTom's saying it. Like,
But I think $20K, you put that over 5-6 years?
Dan, you are a single dude. I love you like a brother. You're a single dude, no kids.
No kids.
How much do you guys spend on whiskey a month?
Why you got to bring shit up like that?
I'm just saying. Imagine
The difference is you don't have to cut the whiskey out of your life to afford it. Me and Jay do.
Yeah.
So,
I've got to pimp him on the side of a street corner just to afford half these bottles.
so you can pimp out your robot. Imagine all the freaks out there. You can put that robot on the corner, make some money.
Robot comes home. I need a bath.
put a black light over your robot. Like, oh, God.
I feel gross.
When your robot glows like Chernobyl. Jeez.
Can you imagine you take it in for a trade-in for the new model? Like, yeah, no, this is.
I did not know what finger cuffs was. I do not like you shutting down.
But the only thing that would scare the fuck out of me, you got a robot in your house, right? And you go to bed, and they turn on that iRobot code, whatever, code red, and he turns red, and he comes in the bedroom, pulls that pillow over your face, or tries to suffocate you.
Pimp me out on the corner, will you? Bitch, better learn.
What I learned today.
When you get diddied by your robot, you get the you get the Diddy model.
He'll say, no, Johnson and Johnson today.
Dude, I'm just curious, like, what happens with this, though? Because when we start doing this, and with AI and stuff, we start... if you have a robot that can mix a cocktail, okay, like do a genuinely good cocktail, you start replacing the intricacies that we do, right? Cooking. Some of that's an art. We consider it art. We've considered art to be the one thing that is from just humanistic, from the spirit, right? So if a robot can start to do art, where are we at a point where we're not far away from, next thing you know, motherfucking Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, Buck, he's taking over and shit, right?
Well, I look at it too, three ways. Three ways it can go.
You can have a three with your robot.
No.
Yeah, but you're gonna get two robots, huh?
Yeah.
There's three ways it could go. It could go the iRobot Terminator way, where the robots try to take over and realize humanity is completely fucking retarded.
Which
need
we
to be
are.
wiped up. And we are.
Mm-hmm.
It could go to the movie Idiocracy, where people are completely retarded to where they can't even wipe their own ass because they're relying on everything else and fucking destroy the planet. Or three, the Jetsons.
So that's my question. Let me ask you: do you think AI? So I'm going to try to sound intelligent for my chemistry physics.
No, you're not.
Everything's all about molecules or whatever. Do you think that we would hit a certain point where you could plug into a machine, make me this, and you could have the perfect old fashioned?
You know what?
There's machines at that.
So
already
you know what's
But
interesting?
we have to pour all into there though. But do you think there's a future that holds 1,000 years from now where you could say your microwave becomes scrambled eggs?
Check this out.
And next thing you know, you have scrambled
Kind of
eggs.
like the Jetsons, yeah.
If you Google the Star Trek effect, you'd be surprised how many things were born out of Star Trek.
Like the iPad, iPhone.
So basically, how many things it influenced into the real world of
Are you saying
design?
Like in the 50s or 60s, the things we talked about in the 50s or 60s are today what are...
Well, he wasn't 50s or 60s, but more...
Well, the
70s.
The Jetsons, yeah.
70s and 80s. And if you look at it, a lot of the stuff that they talked about has come true. And then in later episodes of Star Trek and later movies, their concepts, their ideas about how they view humanity, how they view life, how a lot of that's being mimicked now. Like Gene Roddenberry was credited. I don't remember what platform it was on, whether it was like Amazon Prime or whatever, but it talked about the influence of Star Trek. And it's not just Star Trek, but we'll use that segment because now you can say iRobot, you can say Terminator, you can say a number of other movies. There's a movie out there. Who was not Denzel Washington's son? Maybe it was Denzel Washington's son.
I don't know who.
The same guy that was in Tenet. There was the lead character in Tenet. But essentially, this child was a robot, a biokinetic being. And how like the ethical left and right. But what I'm saying is we're starting to really go down the roads now. In our lifetime, we're seeing changes that are or even faster paced than our parents saw. And if you think about that, they walked out of the Great Depression into World War II.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you had this acceleration of TV, internet, digital age, superconductors, and now we're at this point again where it's like AI is redefining anything. We sat there, we talked to Matt and Connor, right? and I've asked my son this. How much work do you do in school now?
No, they could go to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, right?
Well, I think talking to my parents were both born in the 40s. And talking to my parents from my parents' generation to our generation, I think they agree that from their generation to ours, which we were, almost all of us were pretty much born in the 70s.
Before the internet. Well, I was born in the 80s, so fuck you.
But from our parents to us to our kids, I think my parents both agreed. And my dad was an engineer too, so he's big into computers, all this though, that there was a lot more technological advances from our childhood to our kids though. Our kids now don't know, they now all have phones.
They don't know what a rotary phone is.
We still.
But that's objective. That's objective to where from where you are at with the technology. If you look at right now, if you drop AI on us out of the blue, we're relatively the same age as your parents were at that point, and we have a very small understanding of the capability of AI versus Oliver. Uses 11-year-old uses AI every day at school. It's all about like where we are at this snapshot in time.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm sorry. That's like I remember I was like Oliver's age, probably like 12 or 13, when I was showing my parents how to use the internet, what you could do on the internet. And they were like blown away. You mean I can talk to somebody halfway across the world on the internet? I can play a game with somebody halfway across the world? Like, that's how it works.
If you think about when we left for war, when we went to Iraq and Afghanistan, we were still calling back to the U.S. on AT&T phone cards.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And in the time that we went and came back over and over again, we went from that to, remember, the Army guy, like a lot of the Army guys would get, like, they'd buy a router and they set up a comm site within that little compound, and you take it over, you pass it on, whatever, to you don't need any of that because now you got Starlink floating above your head and you can sit there and play friggin' any Xbox game you want while chatting on with your mom back in Burbank, California. It's no big deal. So it's revolutionary for every era. But at what point have we now crossed the threshold? When are we going to get to the point where, remember the show Altered Carbon?
No.
You never saw Altered Carbon?
Never seen it.
Essentially, what they could do is take your conscious and download it to another body, another organic being. Are we getting to the point where
I think in the next 50 years
we want to find another planet because we fucked this one all up because we're a bunch of idiots, right?
Oh, we'll fuck the next one up too.
Well, we will. But how do we get there? Well, we'll cryo freeze X amount of people and we'll download their consciousness into a robot.
As long as I can be Reddick with those cool fucking eyes.
You're not going to be Reddick. You're going to be more like Chris. You're going to be Chris Farley with glasses.
Coming out. So,
is it really?
You're right. It's all relative though too. But our parents sit here at a hierarchy too. If they've seen two major generations, they've seen us, they've seen their grandkids though.
Yeah.
And my parents sit here and say, yes, from me to you, son. And from you to your children, there's a much bigger, much different from me to my children, though, what they have. I still grew up playing out in the woods.
Yeah.
There was nothing on TV to watch. We didn't have cell phones. When we got in our car and we went out for the night, parents
you look at shit.
I had to call from a payphone. If I didn't call from a payphone,
collect.
Yep, they couldn't get hold of me though. Now your kids,
hey, Ma, I need picked up.
And technology has changed everything.
Well, you're tracked. You can be tracked.
So much back in the day, I think too, in the workforce, you got left alone. You did not call somebody on their home phone to say, "Hey,
I need you to do
what
this.
about this?" So John just texted me about this project at work. That was so sacrilegious to call somebody.
Oh, after work, you were done.
You didn't call a home phone. Now, because you have a cell phone, that became your means of connection.
We're all connected.
Now it's like, hey, John just texted me and asked about this, and now it's like, if you don't respond, After hours.
Well, have you seen the new things?
Oh yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
The new things.
You're not a good worker. You are. It's changed so much.
The new things are wedding rings that women are giving to their husbands.
Track your steps, your location.
Not just that. Like it tells health, heart rate. It has all the vitals, but it gives a precise GPS location. But they're calling it the cheater buster ring, right? Because it'll tell when it gets excited. And then she virtually goes on and always at a strip club.
Every time I walk into no bullshit. Every time I walk
every time he walks into a
fine wine, every time he walks into liquor store, he's got a heart on. Oh my god!
Well, here's the crazy thing about that. There's a movie called, I think it was called The Ring, that was on Netflix.
That's Lord of the Rings. Oh
no!
The Ring's a horror movie.
No, you're thinking the horror movie, but there's a ring with the chick that played on Harry Potter.
Was that Carmine?
You would be the only one that knows.
You're thinking of Hermione.
My daughter's big.
The British chick, but it had her and Tom Hanks. It was the same thing about if you wear this ring, it fucking basically everything you just talked about. Same thing.
He's over there like, I love Gryffindor.
Evasion of privacy.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Your parents back in your parents aren't that old, but your grandparents back in the 40s and 50s with what is his name? Dick Tracy. Remember the watch? Yeah. The watch where he was able to communicate on his watch.
And now we have
we have all the smart watches now.
You know what's crazy about AI is that we don't need our body, we don't need anything except for if you could just take all your thoughts and just put it into a different body. I just hope I don't come up looking like you two next.
So you will look like shit.
So no bullshit, though.
Not like I come back as an aardvark or some shit.
You're a beaver.
Fucking sloth.
With these robots, do you see it going like T2, iRobot, or do you go in
T2? Dude, anything that humans do, we fuck up.
Dude, robots are going. So I think what's going to happen is anything introduced new to the market, though, robots are going to be for.
Stop. Talk to me like a fucking person and not like a fucking robot.
No, like anything in the market, though, because they're so expensive, though. A lot of the market's not going to be able to afford them, though, and it's going to become much more norm, and eventually robots are going to come down, and much more of America could afford them, though, or much more of the world, though. Right now, it's going to be a certain people who have a certain income level. They're going to buy it, though. Would I buy one? Well, absolutely. But do I have 20 grand to drop on one? No.
But you're going to do it over payments. You're not going to pay fucking, here's 20 grand, $300, $400 a month.
I definitely do not believe in using credit to buy anything.
What about your car? Fucking Avery.
Imagine when your robot can drink with you.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of drinking, before we wrap up, we do want to once again... There we go. Move that out of the way. Talk about our single barrel release. This is Outside the Wire. This is an amazing single barrel rye whiskey that we chose with our awesome, amazing friends down at Liberty Pole Spirits, and this is out on the 9th. I'm sorry, the Saturday, November 9th. It should be released at noon in the distillery and online. Don't miss out on this. I think every time we keep trying this, it gets better. Like, we enjoy it more and more, and it was a damn good bottle to begin with. This is going to go for $80, and proceeds of the profit of this are going to go to charity, a veterans place down in Washington. We're going to take care of our vets as part of our mission, part of what we really believe in, and we're super pumped. And also, be remiss, if you are in the Pittsburgh area, if you are or the tri-state,
or traveling down,
or traveling
for the pit game, on
please
Saturday.
Come and visit Southern Tier Brewery in Pittsburgh, North Shore.
Yeah, Southern Tier Distillery down on the North Shore in Pittsburgh, and
come and join us. We're gonna be down there on Saturday doing a little podcasting, a little interacting, a little drinking, a little eating, a little cocktail mixing, celebrating Pitt and SMU, 2 ranked teams. Very good. Very good. That's good. I got more in here. 2 ranked teams going at it at beautiful, well, I'd say Heinz Field, but it's now Acrisure Stadium. And we'd really love for you to come out and meet us, sit down with us. We got some merch we're going to be giving away, and we're going to be having a good time. One last pitch also for Bingo, Blue Jeans, Bourbon, Blue Jeans, and Bingo, which is happening on the 9th as well.
Say it one more time, because I overtalked
Blue Jeans, Bingo, and Bourbon. You can look them up. Just Google Blue Jeans Bourbon.
blue
That's
jeans,
a tough one. I'm thinking
bourbon and bingo.
Yeah, I'm thinking about bacon, bourbon, and beer because I'm hungry.
We'll have the website down in the description.
Yeah, so check it out. We really hope to see you down there if you're in the Pittsburgh area. It's going to be a huge day in Pittsburgh, ranked matchup. Come and say hi to us. Let's have a pour together or a beer together. They got amazing beer, and I'm looking forward to that because we haven't had a big beer day in a while.
Well, they got whiskey too, cocktails.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
with the cocktails and whiskeys. But I gotta say one more thing before you fucking close this up. Fuck Philly.
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. And congratulations to our Steelers on the.
Did they play the Giants? We can't. No,
but
it was still.
They won.
They won.
Hats off to them.
And they won through the air, which was
Beanie.
Pretty cool.
I gotta say Beanie though.
Yeah.
Beanie 2 weeks in a row.
How about TJ? TJ just roared back, strip sack, saved the game.
Dude,
TJ, you're the beast, man.
Yeah, my son went to that game yesterday. He was so happy. We got somebody donated him to the military, though. He went down there, though, and he had the time of his life, though.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy.
It's a great place. So, it's the same stadium that Pitt plays in. It's just a great place to come tailgate, have a good time. Have drinks.
You know what? Saturday, Southern Tier is going to be a lot better to pregame because you're going to be pregaming with us.
Yeah.
And I promise, you're going to get fucked up.
He wants to get fucked up. You're going to be on the whole iRobot for the rest of the damn night. Anyways, like we always say, we thank you and love you guys. Thanks for watching us. And as always, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.